Part 2 in your 20s with Gianni here in Miami.
My brother, it's good to be back with you. It's good to see you.
Dude, it's been 4 months. Like you were just mentioning it's been like 4 months ago. Dude, I felt like literally like 2 weeks ago.
Yeah, it's crazy, right?
Time's going by quick.
It's crazy. We're almost halfway through the year. We're working hard, pushing content, following our dreams.
Oh, bro. Well, last time when we were talking, you were about to start your not world tour, but your tour from different states, right? How was that? That was in March, right?
Brother, that was exhausting. So let's call it since New Year's, I have done already 35 to 40 shows.
Okay.
Maybe more. And I counted, I would have to check my app, but I'm about like 28 to 30 flights in already.
What?
And it's been my biggest year yet. And we're just, I hit 13, 14 cities. And yeah, man, it's been nonstop.
Well, per month, how much do you spend on flights?
Per month, I probably spend, it's a big one of my overhead expenses, but I would say 2,000 to 4,000, depends.
A month?
Yeah, like this month, for example, right? May is my biggest month. I think I have 11, 12 flights this month.
Okay.
So yeah, upwards of $3,000.
Dang, and that's your biggest expense, right? For a DJ at your caliber.
That's my biggest expense is probably flights.
Okay.
Flights, hotels, depending, every gig is different. Sometimes hotels included. Ubers are also a big expense, of course. I spend thousands of dollars a month on Uber.
I know last time we conversated of like who kind of was Gianni, right? But now since I want to get into the fundamentals and the fun part, right? The real questions, the saucy ones. So it's like now we're talking about how much you spend monthly, right? Just on the business. I want people to understand too, when you're going to write these off on taxes, how do you write them off? So you can be like, this is for business, but also too, like you said, lifts, you have to write those off.
Absolutely. Well, I mean, my expenses, I always tell people, right? Because like they'll see like the price tag of a show, right? Thousands of dollars, whatever. Ooh, that's an amazing thing. People don't understand, right? 10% goes to management. 10% goes to my agency. 30% of that's overhead, flights, hotels, Ubers, marketing dollars spent on Facebook, Instagram ads. Like people don't look at the whole entire picture. Like they'll be like, oh, you're making 5,000, 10,000 a show, whatever the number could be, right?
Right.
And they're like, but you don't see that 50% of that is overhead. Wow. And, amongst many other expenses, right?
Yeah,
Media, clipping, mixing and mastering songs, paying for studio time. It's a lot of expenses. So I have a lot that I can write off, but also it's a lot of expenses,
You don't have to give me the exact number, right? It's just like a curiosity. So you can also tell people, do you really take 50% of what you're making like per month? Like all the shows you're making, are you as a DJ making keeping 50%?
Maybe. Could be even a little less.
Wow. I only asked that too because I was watching a clip of a UFC fight and all these other entrepreneurs where it's just like they get $2 million, for example. But reality, they're only going to take like $300K because everything has to be split up. Promotion, clipping.
Everything.
Right?
Again, management teams, agency teams. Some people have business managers, lawyers take small percentages. It just depends how your business is structured.
How often does a DJ get sued?
Get sued? That's an interesting question. From my knowledge, I would say not too often because DJs usually are not doing anything that could cause that. Maybe if a DJ crashed out on the mixer and destroyed the equipment, they could get sued. Maybe more so on the musical side, right? Because remember we talked about last time, like there's the DJ side, the live performance, and the music business side. If they're using illegal samples or things on the music side, much easier to be sued.
That's the thing I want to talk to you about too with like the business side as well. Because when you're going to go fly to another state, there's another promoter booking you out. Sometimes you have to tell yourself, I'm not doing this for pennies no more, right? Like you have to grow a brand. What's the conversation like to a promoter or to someone booking you being like, this is my prices and there's no negotiation?
So that's a good question, right? I would say this, right? To a certain extent in your early career, you do a lot of things for exposure.
Yeah.
At some point, you have to understand when the exposure part of your career is done. You're building a real business. You're paying rent off this. You're going to provide for a family. There's a certain point where that has to stop. So with that being said, as you grow in a musical act, you grow your team, right? So like you grow your management side. Then you have the agency side, your agents who are the ones negotiating deals for you. So I used to negotiate my own deals, but now I push that out to management, push that out to my agents. So it's there's a different person negotiating those fees. So you're more protected and also the deals become better.
better too as well. And I like that because that relationship with you and the promoter, let's just say the promoter, it's mutual.
And promoters also love to have that personal relationship. Like I've learned this through traveling for shows. Like the promoter wants to be able to text the artist, be cool with the artist, conversate with the artist. Sometimes they get maybe too comfortable and they want to do the business deals with the artist because maybe they'll get a better rate, or they want to go, direct to consumer or direct to the business. But I always have to weave in my management agency fee agents just to be more professional.
Okay. I also like this too because collaboration. I remember last time we went viral on this clip where Chicago's don't like to collaborate, right? Last time we were chopping it up. But I'll give my opinion too as well, but I also want to ask you first. So I just throw you in the fire. Is that how can someone get a collaboration with Gianni Blue, right? If there's a smaller creator, what would dictate that you would say yes to them compared to someone else that maybe has 10K more followers than them? Or
But the collaboration in what way?
music.
In music, man, if you have a good song, if you have something, if I hear something from you, it doesn't matter if you have 2 followers or 1 million followers, right? If I hear, let's say you're a singer and you send me a demo and you're just incredible, your voice, your writing, I'll do a collaboration with you. You know what I mean? I think it's more about the art and everything around that. Like if you can create an amazing piece of art, as an artist, I want to work with you because I love creating art.
I asked you that just because, like I said, now I'm going to, for my opinion, like in my vice versa, is I don't care if they have 500 followers or 200 or just starting out. Well, maybe it depends, right? But I always check the last 6 months of what someone does, how often they're posting. Because I'm just like, if you're only posting 2 times a week, you're not hungry, right? Or if you're posting 4 times a week, you're not hungry enough. You don't want it. And I think I maybe use that as my experience because I was, even to this day where I'm clipping a lot, which I think I'm not, I think I could do more. When I first started, I'm clipping the same rate right now as I'm doing now by myself. Like all those clips, I send it to people to re-edit, readjust, all that. But at first I was doing it by myself, right? And I think that's how it dictates who I want to collaborate and who I would just be like, okay, this is cool. That's why I wanted to ask you that question.
Well, I'll tell you this. In 2026, me being a musician, an influencer, whatever you want to call it, I'm going to dedicate the next 6 months to tripling down on clipping and posting content. And actually, I'm sitting on a plethora of content that I haven't released. 3-4 DJ mixes, interviews, a bunch of stuff that I'm going to start right around June 1st, just dropping on all platforms, make secondary, third accounts, and just I'm about to hire a team of people to just mass produce and mass distribute content. Because that's where I think everything is right now in 2026, right? It's exposure, it's attention. How are you getting it? You have to be in people's face every day. Like I'll give you an example, right? Hate him or love him. Like I was with Clav last night, had an interesting talk with him. This guy was the most watched human being last month. He had, I think they said 36,000 clips of himself uploaded by hundreds of clippers, 2.2 billion views. You're talking about like the most watched man last month on the internet. Yep. So the distribution of content is where I'm super focused, where you're super focused, I know. And that's where I think our next 6 months, 12 months should be on tripling down on that.
So this question is presented by Happy Dad. So what I'm going to ask is, how is the party culture shifting now in 2026?
Shout out Happy Dad. I would say there's this trend where everybody's trying to be healthier, right? Where we're running, where we're going to day parties versus night parties, where all the DJs and musicians are creating communities around health, which I love, right? Because I even, like I was telling you offline, like I've started running. I'm trying to work on 5Ks and hopefully more, just to be more health conscious, right?
Yeah.
And I think it's a good thing. However, I will say also, I think nightlife culture is still killing it from what I see. I can say, people argue this point a lot. Is alcohol sales down? Like, sure, they are down maybe for more GA consumers, right? GA, like general admission.
Yeah.
But like the bottles in the clubs are still packed, all the sections, right?
Yeah.
So I think it's more spread out. Like people are more health conscious, but I think also people are still partying tremendously.
100%. But with the party culture too as well. So it's like I said, don't throw out like how much you're making, but has the money been increasing more in 2026 since like maybe compared to back in 2018, 2017?
Well, it's only increasing because my brain got bigger.
Okay.
That's really like, I can't tell you that like dance music DJs were 100% getting paid more in 2018. Like that comes from your brand worth, how big your following is, how many tickets you sell when you come to a city, how many people you bring out. Like it's more just about the individual versus the overall culture. I will say this, dance music in 2026 is much bigger than it was in 2018. Like I saw something on Billboard the other day or Forbes, like the dance music market, EDM, is bigger than it's ever been, the business. It's a $5 to $10 billion business yearly now. So
Do you think it's because of TikTok? Because everyone
I
wants to
would
use
just
those little...
say that the dance music culture has stolen from other genres. And what I mean by stolen is like hip hop is dead right now, right? We can almost argue,
yeah,
right?
100%.
A lot of those people have come into the dance world. A lot of other genres, rock, alternative, like dance music is just taking all these different people and mixing it in, right? Give you an example, right? EDC just happened last week. They have a stage called EDM. It's a country music mix of EDM. There's just that, right? Diplo does this country festival where he has a stagecoach, right? He has a whole stage dedicated to EDMs for dance music. So it's like dance music has become this thing where like you can bring in hip hop, you can bring in Latin, you can bring in rock, you can bring in country, all under this one umbrella. And I think that's why it's the biggest genre in 2026.
That is nuts. EDM is just like... I've always been a big Lala guy, right? I love EDM.
And then right? Because I fell in love with dance music at Lala.
100%. And I was just 2 weeks ago seeing Martin Garrix again. It gave me like, bro, it's like if I saw him in 2016 Lollapalooza. But with EDM, a lot of people like to say, oh, it's just beeping noise, right? Could you recreate
Those are the people I don't like to be around.
Those two. Could you recreate those way simpler now with AI?
That's a good question. What I will say this, right? Because like I have started using AI now.
This episode is sponsored by Cielo. Peptides are having a moment. Everyone from your gym bro to your group chat is suddenly throwing around words like ratatouille and raving about the things they do. The science is actually fascinating once you start digging in, which is exactly why we linked up with Cielo for this episode. Cielo is a US-based supplier of high-purity research peptides. And yeah, research is the key word there. These are strictly for research use, not for human consumption. But if you're a peptide curious and want to see what the lab world is actually working with, they source through credentials facilities, ship fast, and don't cut corners. Head to cielopeptides.com and dig in. Use code 773Miami to get 20% off.
And dipping and dabbling with it. As a music producer and a songwriter, I would say that the biggest thing with AI is you can describe an idea you want, right? And I'll give you an example. Let's say I want to make an Afro house sound. So right, I can put the prompt in, very specific to the BPM, stylistically, how I want the drums to sound, how I want the synths to sound, emotional, happy, fierce, high energy. Then I'll take that idea, it'll prompt a song. I can take that stems out, which means I can take all the audio files out, drop it into my digital audio workstation like FL Studio, and build a whole new song from that idea. And this is and I own the copyright to that. And that's the most remarkable thing about using AI right now is that I don't need to go hire a guitarist anymore to come play a guitar on the song. I don't need to go hire a drummer to play the drums on the song. Yeah. First of all, as a music producer, I can already do all that. But with the AI now, I can keep prompting. I want a jazz guitar on this. I want a old school synthesizer on this. And I can take those ideas that the AI gives, and as a producer who's been doing it 20 years, I can develop it 3 times higher.
Wow. It's so crazy how
it just speeds up the process of what I do, and it eliminates so many steps. And I think that's going to be the scariest and most advantageous thing for all musicians who adapt quick versus not to adapt, is that the speed of your workflow can triple and quadruple.
It's so crazy now because like now you can just, it's like with clipping with AI, with all the speed of everything you need on social media to go. Now Kick, right? Streaming. I feel like, and this is just my opinion, I feel like not even a DJ in any niche you're in, anyone can create good music or good content. I guess just latch on the personality. What are your thoughts on that now?
Well, I think that the only thing that's going to separate us, especially everybody's saying you have like 4 or 5 years to do something big because the AI thing is going to get out of hand. And what I'm doubling down on, and I'm sure you know, we're here again, you as well, is the personal brand, right? People latch to personalities, people latch to people, and that's the brand now. So being face forward in the camera is how you establish yourself in 2026. And also people relate, right? We telling stories. People understand that not every day is positive. We're sharing negative stories. We're sharing positive stories. We're telling the story of the hardships from brick by brick, building it from 10 years old to 20 years old to 30 years old. And that's when you connect with someone. And I know for me, like growing up, I would watch YouTube vlogs all day, every day, because I was obsessed with the story of how they made nothing into something.
That's phenomenal because we always, when you're starting out, I feel like a lot of people say they want something, but it's only money driven, right? So that's why I want to take away this part with money wise, right? What's the biggest flex for a DJ that's not money?
The biggest flex for a DJ that's not money, I would say, is access. And what I mean by access is the rooms that I can be around, the millionaires, the billionaires, the celebrities, the tech finance people, like the access I have being a known person in this dance music world, being known in some of the most popular clubs, it lets me get into rooms that most people cannot get in. And that access is priceless. And I would say that to me is the most valuable thing. Because even sometimes money can't get you the access that I get because I'm just a professional in this field. And my contacts and my face card get me indoors that a lot of people can't get. And that's one of my biggest blessings. It's intangible.
I asked you that just because everyone's like, I want money because it's going to buy me this, give me this. But I'm just like, well, if you have the right connections, you don't even have to have a dime to get into this.
All your network and your connections, this whole life we're living in right now.
Speaking about right now with the clubbing as well, Collab has a club as well. Are we ever going to see a Gianni Blue at Baccarat?
Potentially. I was with Clavicula last night. I didn't even know he was such a dance music fan. So shout out to Clav. We're going to do some dance music works hopefully soon. Do a little thing with a tour. Who knows? There's endless possibilities.
100%.
Just
on that topic, what do you think about the whole looks maxing, right? With your presence, right? Like you mentioned before, or a couple seconds ago, face card. How important is the presence of how you look and how it gets you out the door, especially since we're in Miami?
I think I look at it more like this personally. I think the more unique you look and you stand out and people recognize your face right away is the most important, valuable thing, right? Like, I think if you look as a person that people will remember after meeting you once is the most important thing.
Okay. I only asked you that because I'm just like, okay, since you were the clavicular.
Now we're doing DJ maxing,
DJ maxing, I like that. That's a new one. Like I said, I only asked you that just because we're here in Miami, and it's also the name matters a lot, but also we can't lie. Like, everyone here looks a certain way.
Of course, everybody here is health conscious. Everybody trying to have the best body. Everybody's trying to have the best tan. Everybody here is trying to, be the most fit. Yeah. And that's one beautiful thing about Miami that is also separate than the partying, right? Is that there's also this huge culture here about, you could call it looks maxing or being the healthiest and most fit you can be.
Yeah. It pushes you to be better, even if it's the goal not to be like the most swollest person there, right? Or the most fittest.
Well, look, here I've been in Miami this week, right? Every day I've started my day going on a run. The weather, the sunshine, I just feel like I want to wake up and be better.
Yeah.
If I can be 1% better every day, well, in a couple weeks, couple months, that's a lot of percent.
Yeah.
And just being in Miami, I feel like when I wake up, I want to go for a walk. Then that turns into a run. Then that turns into, waking up earlier. That turns to going to a run, going to lift, going to sauna, and then come and do an interview at noon. Look how much has been done already, know?
Yeah. The mindset's all clear. What's the psychology behind DJing then, right? Because you're controlling lots of people's emotions musically. Or how do you see it?
I see it like this, right? I see it like, well, let's talk about the psychology of reading a room, right? Because that's what, first of all, a lot of new DJs, they need to go back to the manual and read what that expression means, read in the room.
Okay.
Read in the room means, how do I make sure the party is lively? How do I make sure I'm catering to the people, right? Because a good DJ overall is someone who's going to make the room move the way they move. I'm taking you on a journey, right? And that just comes from, again, trial and error of DJing thousands of events, hundreds of events, and also just understanding who's in the room. If you have more women, cater to women, then take them from there. If you have more Latinos, cater to them, take them from there. If you have more white people, take them from there, take them to there. And then when you got everybody in your pocket, then you can be very unique. And that's the most powerful thing and the most magic. When I have everybody in my hands, I can go anywhere musically and they're following. But you have to get them in line first. And that's what I would call reading the room.
Okay. I always wonder that because it's just like, obviously I'm not behind the DJ booth. So it's just like, how do you read the room? How can a DJ in that exact moment, like I want to be Gianni right now. How can I control these people's emotions to get hyped up? Even though there was a DJ before me that just amped them up. How can I do it way better? It's a different feeling. I don't know for me because I've never been in that side.
I mean, if that's one of the superpowers. It's probably one of the biggest highs of being a DJ is that you can create so many emotion. You can create so much change. You can create so much energy. That adrenaline rush is why I do it every day.
How do you think you're going to control the emotions at Sueños? Because this is going to be, maybe, correct me if I'm wrong, this is going to be your first time at a specific Latin festival.
No,
right?
I would absolutely. I mean, I've been playing Latin music forever.
Oh, 100%.
So I'll probably go into the sets mostly freestyling it because even my normal sets are 30 to 50% Latin infused. So yeah, I'll cater more so probably 90% all Latin, Latin house, Latin mixtures with reggaeton, throw in some dembow, things of that nature.
Okay.
But keep it in kind of the sonics of what I do with the house.
And that was your first, is that your first festival in Chicago?
No, I've done almost all of them except Lollapalooza.
Yeah, what's going on?
We're still waiting on Lollapalooza.
We got like 2 more months, 3
And
months.
that would be a big thing. But no, I've done all the festivals growing up.
It's the crazy part too. And that's why I wanted to dive on this one where the World Cup's going to happen in Miami real soon.
Is it?
Oh, dude, in a couple weeks, brother. Right? Obviously, there's always a banger in the World Cup, right? Like Shakira in 2010, Waka Waka, right? What are your thoughts on the music scene and the World Cup?
Well, first of all, she has the new official World Cup 2026 soundtrack, her and Burna Boy.
Yeah.
But I mean, I'll share it here first if you want. Should I give the people something?
I think you should, man.
So I grew up playing soccer from kindergarten through 11th grade.
Okay.
My whole family, everybody thought I was going to go pro, whatever. I unfortunately fell in love with music around that time. But here we are 20 years later. I'm excited to announce that I'm going to be an official FIFA World Cup DJ of 2026. I'll be performing at all the Miami shows. And it's going to be a massive summer.
Dude, that's sick, bro.
So from growing up playing soccer to being emailed by FIFA, it's a dream come true.
How would that work, though? Are you going to remix the official song, or you're just going to be at the matches?
I'm going to be at the matches DJing in the stadium, outside the stadium, doing a bunch of stuff with them.
Dude, that's so sick, bro. Reflecting back at your career, when a DJ at that level, at your caliber, reflecting at the career, how do you feel? Because everyone's like, I wish I could be in Gianni's shoes. I wish I could be in this person's shoes. What's the reality? Yes, you're stressed and you still have to work and there's more to put in, but what's the reality?
I'm very grateful. I'm very thankful. I've been doing this coming up on over half my life. So since 14, 15, I've been fully focused on music. And this is just, I saw this interview the other day and I can't remember who it was right now, but as long as you don't quit, you'll get pretty close where your dreams are.
Yeah.
And that's kind of how I've looked at it. For the first half of the journey, 10, 12 years, it was really rough. It had a lot of ups and downs. Still have a lot of ups and downs, but the graph is just kind of going upward. And yeah, I'm grateful, blessed, and looking forward to these next 5, 10 years. Looking forward to this summer and just taking every day, with a breath of fresh air.
So if God was to come here, or let's just say someone came here, strip away everything you've created, right? What is one thing you wish that they wouldn't take away from you, that you would know? If you had to start from scratch, let me reword that. If you had to start from scratch from DJing and everything you've accomplished was stripped away, what's one thing you would want to still know?
I would say that I could still hold my music catalog.
Oof.
I've been collecting my music catalog for 20 years. It's like 30,000 songs. It's a lifetime of collecting, right? You know how people collect vinyls and all that stuff? Well, I've been collecting MP3s and WAV files for 30 years.
Wow.
Or 20 years, excuse me. But yeah,
It's just so crazy because I'm just like, not only in the music, but I want people to learn about the business side. Because like you said, you've been here for a minute, brother. Like what, 10 years?
A little bit longer, yeah.
Yeah. 10 years, like plus years you've been here, man. So it's like, I want people to be educated of how they're doing business now. So what's, in your opinion, the bare minimum requirement that a DJ should put when they're going to go do a booking, right? Because some DJs want to do it for free. Some DJs don't know how to charge. It's a bare minimum.
Well, first you have to have an understanding of what you want to play. Now, there's different levels to DJing, right? If you go in to just DJ your local bar, that's more so called an open format DJ, right? You're playing the top 40, Ariana Grande, Taylor Swift, throwing a Bad Bunny, throwing a Future record, right? It's harder to build a real brand around that. So I would say in 2026, the best thing a new DJ can do is find your niche, whether it's house music, Latin music, hip hop, and build your content and your brand around that at first. And then you can go to talent buyers and promoters and be like, look, I have all this content in the dance music world. I've done these dance music shows. I'm a dance music lover. I think I would be great to open for such DJ or such event or such festival, blah, blah, blah. That would be the only way I would do it in 2026 is pick your niche market, your genre, and focus on that right away for the first few years. Then you build a brand, you build notoriety. You can always pivot. You can do new things, but at least people will know you for something.
Traveling for all over the states, right? You've been to many states. Who has the best hospitality? Or name me the 3 best hospitality places you've ever been to.
Hospitality. Name the top 3 hospitalities.
People, it's very important. You don't forget.
I don't forget, right? I could go right away. So Arizona showed me a lot of love. They read the rider perfectly.
Oof.
I'm talking about fruit platter, 6 Red Bull cans. I don't even drink Red Bull anymore. But like the rider was immaculate. Chauffeur, everything, right? Miami has great hospitality. Detroit has great hospitality.
Okay.
They're just, it's when people also don't see you as much.
Yeah.
When you're less visible to them, they make sure your experience when you come to their city is very special. No, shout out Detroit for sure. Damn. Detroit shows me a lot of love. Now, shout out my boy RD. Shout out Blas. I mean, they're just, years of brotherhood and years of working together. And that's one thing again, right? Like first impressions when you do a DJ set in a new city, a new club, is the most important thing. Yep. And I want everybody to understand this. Your first set with a new set of business partners will dictate your entire future with them. Give you an example. I did a DJ set at Somewhere Nowhere in New York City. One of my favorite clubs in the world, by the way.
Okay.
Did a DJ set in October. Off that one DJ set, we got a year-long residency partnering with them. I've been to New York 7 or 8 times since October.
Wow.
Right? So your first impression, your first set to whoever you're working with is the most important. Make sure you kill it. And from there, you could be doing business for years.
What's one thing you want people to appreciate more about DJs?
Let them take you on a journey. Let them show you new music you're not familiar with. Let them show you different cultures. My whole identity the last 2-3 years has been global house music. And that's what I've been touring on. What global house music means to me, my slogan is where cultures collide on the dance floor. That basically means I might throw in some Latin influence, some Arabic influence, some French influence, some Haitian influence. Who knows? Just be open to hearing what you like. Just be open to hearing what I play. And who knows? You might fall in love with a new song. You might fall in love with a new sound you didn't know. I think to me, that's what inspires me the most. When I hear a Diplo play, when I hear a Hugh Gell play, I love when I Shazam 5, 6, 7 songs because that experience to me is so much more than a regular DJ playing the top 30 songs in the world that I already know.
Speaking about the top songs, right? What's a song that's overplayed?
A song that's overplayed.
A playlist, a song for you that you're just like, dude, come on.
A song that's overplayed. 4K by El Alfa.
El Alfa. 4K.
Yeah, but don't get me wrong. When I'm drinking, I might throw that thing on.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it's just like, but there's just like, again, music is so subjective with everything, right? Yeah. Sometimes there's the right moment to play that song.
Oof.
Like you talk again about reading a room. Like if I have people at the 99 percentile of energy, they're screaming every song, I would throw that record in.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Because at that point, you're just exploding the room.
Yep.
You know what I mean? It's like when 2 cars are racing, right? You're about to hit the finish line. You just hit the nitrous.
Yeah.
And you just play the biggest record in the world at that moment. And you create that whole night's euphoric feeling, sparklers, confetti, CO2.
You get everyone.
So you have to know
up.
also when to hit the nitrous.
Yeah.
When's your climax to the night? If you get what I'm saying.
No, yeah. Well, speaking with the party scene then, how often do you see people cheat when you're DJing? Because maybe there's some shorties in the bag, man. How often do girls cheat?
Sometimes I'm looking, I take my glasses off. I'm like, ooh, okay. I'll mind my business.
This is just a fun question to throw out there.
This is why a lot of girls, I think, are wearing sunglasses in the club now. Because there's so many cameras and so many people filming. And some of these girls, they be Respectfully, but they be acting like hoes. Their man's at home. They put their glasses on. They kind of blend in. I don't know.
So for a guy that has a girlfriend and she chooses to go to a club with Gianni, should they be worried?
No, not necessarily. I need a bunch of girls in the DJ booth.
Okay.
Helps the party, helps the vibe, brings the energy. You know what I mean?
Gianni's not going to get with your girl. Dude, you're about to hit, you said, one of the most busiest weekends of your life. You're going to go to Sueños. You're going to play 11 tomorrow. And you said 11 is your favorite club to play at, right?
Oh, yeah. Shout out 11 again. You know, I love my people over there. Gino, Rob, all the guys, Soul. I'm playing there for my birthday. We're starting my birthday celebrations really tomorrow.
Oof.
Memorial Day weekend at 11. I mean, it's going to be a movie.
How old are you going to turn? You don't mind me asking.
33.
33 years
Which,
young.
my mom's been telling me this is going to be one of my biggest years. You know, that's Jesus's number. That's the 3 number is very big. And I don't know, the energy, everything feels right.
I don't know if you ever thought about this, and this is not for your case, but when do you think maybe DJing is not for someone, right? Maybe this project or a project of yours is not for you. You know, there's always people saying there's a 5-year mark, a 10-year mark, or maybe there's no mark.
I think time tells you if this is for you or not, right? I see a lot of people getting in this DJ thing for the wrong reason. For the clout, for the money they think they're going to make, for the girls. That lifespan is 2-3 years, 4 years. You'll burn out. You'll realize maybe your skill set's not there. You'll realize that the job has so much that you have to put in. The flights, the no sleeping, the low energy, the missing every holiday, traveling every weekend, being exhausted, having insomnia, that maybe this life is not for you. Like I always tell people, like I'm a lifer in this. Like my identity at its core has always been music, performing, entertaining, DJing. And it comes with immense sacrifice that people do not see day to day. People don't see the Monday through Thursday. I'm on the phone for 10 hours. Then I'm in the studio. Then my ears are hurting. Then I can't sleep. I go on plane after plane after plane. Then get home Monday. Can't calm down from the adrenaline. Have to do it again. Have to do it again. Have to do it again. And this is not me complaining. This is me just trying to tell the people what the real reality of this job entails.
Do you think you're top 5 DJs in Miami?
I would hope so. I would hope people would say that.
Do you think you're top 5 or top 3 in Chicago?
I would say so. And I don't mean that ever in a cocky way. I would say that I'm probably top 3 known for sure, but I've worked lifetime for this, you know? I've DJ'd. Actually, I was talking to someone the other day, and this is a grateful moment again. I've DJ'd every single venue in Chicago. There's not one club that I have not played at. There's not one club that I have not headlined in Chicago. And I always tell people, like, my whole upbringing, my energy is Chicago. I love Chicago. And I was thinking that the other day. I'm like, wow, I have done every single venue in this city. I have laid my mark. I've gotten a lot of love. I've gotten a lot of hate. And I think with growing, that's going to be what happens. And I still got love for Chicago. We have a love-hate relationship now. But we're always building. We're always doing more projects. We're always doing more shows.
There's this quote, speaking about Chicago, that they always say, you don't start receiving love in your own city until you leave.
Absolutely. And I see that the more so when I really came down to Miami the last 3 years, that people saw that I was able to make it outside of the city and they respected what I built more. But I also got hate because people thought maybe I was big-headed. But do you realize that maybe I just had bigger dreams and aspirations than a lot of the local DJs or local producers? That I've had bigger dreams to reach the top and do things and have my music sang by millions of people. So like people always look at it in a negative way when your goals are so big. But you know what I've learned from having big goals? I can achieve them. One of the biggest things I ever wanted. I was coming down to I have family here, right? Like my mom's family grew up in Haiti. So I've been in Miami since birth.
Yeah.
And I would go down to 11 with my cousin Alex. And we would talk to the doorman. He was Haitian. And we would talk and I would say, we would be asking him, how can I play? How can Gianni get booked? This and that, right? They were giving us the ring around. No one could understand it.
Yeah.
And I told my cousin, I said, one day I will play here, no matter what. 7, 8 years, 9 years later, whatever it was, I played my first gig there. Now I'm a resident DJ. Now I'm on, I don't know, my 20th gig there. And it's a beautiful thing.
It's a blessing.
But again, without the dream and the goal, you cannot grow.
And then just one last thing right now, because we're both hometown Chicagoans. Do they pay well? Does Chicago, since they know you're from there, right? Obviously.
Well, again, because it's a different thing because I'm a bit overexposed in the market.
Okay.
Which is a terminology you use when like you've played the market too many times. But I would say normally Chicago pays on the lesser side. Mm-hmm. You know?
I asked you that because it's just like, yeah, you receive a lot of love once you leave, but it's also too, it's one of the least places you receive.
Absolutely.
Love, right.
Absolutely.
Because there's that hate to it. It's like, why you? Why I've been playing 10 years and you've only been 5.
You know, like I don't understand. There's a massive entitlement to it, but like I don't understand why people don't look at like sport athletes, right? Like when a sport athlete trains 10, 15 years to go to the NBA, they get their respect and they get admired for that. As a musician, I've worked 10, 15 years to grow my brand to where it is. Why is it not reciprocated the same way? It's not nobody trying to be better than one another. We're all in our own lane. But some people, the harder they work, the farther they're going to go. And I think that's a Chicago mentality where it's like, I'm not trying to be better than nobody. I'm just trying to be the best version of myself I can be. I'm trying to grow the biggest I can grow. I'm trying to make my dream the biggest dream that I can make.
And what is the best advice your mom ever gave you?
To never stop. To never stop. My mom's been my number one cheerleader, supporter. When I went through the darkness of am I not gonna get it done? Am I not gonna make it? She's like, keep going, keep going, keep going. I've seen her, she raised me and my sister.
Yeah.
And like the hardest working woman in the world. And I admire her to the highest level I possibly can. And I just took her work ethic of never stopping and just applied it to what I'm doing.
Seeing a hardworking woman, right? Do you think you could ever get married in this generation? This is just another question.
It's one of those things where society is really becoming very negative and changing so much with technology and everything.
Yeah.
I think it's going to be less and less likely, right? Like I remember when I was growing up, I think the marriage to divorce rate was like 70-30 marriage. Yes. Then I remember 10 years ago, it was like 50-50. From the last time I saw it was like 60-40 the negative way. And I think, social media has killed relationships, society, partying, all these type of things. And who knows where we're going to go in the future. I still hope to, get married, find the right person, have kids, grow a family. I'm old school.
Yeah.
Actually.
Yeah.
Even though I'm living new school, I'm old school mentality,
That's because you were raised by a right woman. You
exactly.
saw that. It's like when I was talking to my buddy the other day, I'm just like, I never witnessed my mom say, I'm going to go get lunch with my friend Gary. Or my dad say, hey, I'm going to go get lunch with Sandra. You know what I mean?
I never witnessed that too.
No, it's old school and people get mad with it. They call us insecure. Right. And I'm just
people going to say whatever word they want to use.
I know. But Gianni, I do want to ask you this then.
Talk to me. Because
now I feel like you want to pivot to the next level, right? And you're at a good level, but there always could be better. How do you want to end 2026? We're like 6 months in, brother.
Brother, I think the second half of the year is going to be extremely exciting and life-changing for me. I have some massive collaborations with artists from around the world, working on a project with Sickick, working on a project with Chicago Hometown Heroes Autograph, working on a project with this Polish rapper who's world famous named Kizo, have FIFA World Cup coming, have tours all over, and just like tripling down, doing more content and putting all this into a pot and stirring it. And we don't know what recipe we're going to get. We don't know what the final outcome will be. But all this different energy should be something great.
Since you're always over here in Miami and getting booked out, right? And you know all the places way better. For someone that wants to come over here and eat, what are Gianni 3 places you would recommend someone to check out?
Well, being from Chicago and loving this restaurant and then bringing them here, I love Maple and Ash.
Yeah.
Maple and Ash probably truly is my favorite restaurant. And the one here is absolutely incredible. It's designed well. They have a mini club in there called The Studio that I did an event during Music Week. The establishment is amazing. The service is great. That would be probably my favorite restaurant.
Oof.
I know if you watch my stories, I'm a big
That's the best part, man.
I'm a big foodie. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Deep dish or thin crust?
As I get older,
Ooh.
thin crust. Because it's harder to digest and the energy, you feel sleepy. When I was younger, get that Giordano's delivered, would eat 3-4 slices, I would be able to go for a run.
Dude, I feel like deep dish is just tomato soup. If it's done improperly, right? There's certain places that can make it nice and thick and then extra cheesy.
And also, me being Italian, like the real thin crust, like the Napolitan pizza, like that's what I love the most, Where it's like 1-2 bites, you finish the slice, but it's perfectly cooked. That's more so where I'm at now.
Then how do you handle disrespect then in the DJ music scene, right? Someone that doesn't cherish your value.
That's every day. I would say as I got older, right? And this is where I would tell younger DJs, like, don't take anything to the heart. Don't take anything too emotionally. Like, if you get hate from people, you're going to get love from other people. And just disconnect from that. Just keep pushing forward. There's millions of opportunities out there. As long as you keep swimming, you'll find another path. You'll find another way. Don't take anything to heart. Don't read comments. Someone wrote I did a mix in Miami, right? This sunset mix on YouTube has millions of views. I saw a comment the other day. They're like, there's no way he's DJing that fast. He's just fake pushing buttons. I laughed at that comment because I'm like, wow, literally, like, I freestyled this set. This person just thinks they're correct. But like, I was laughing at it, right?
Right.
Maybe if I had just started, I would be hurt. Now I just laugh, keep it moving.
I mean, at the end of the day,
go watch the set again,
It's like I always tell people, you can't be in a social media world. Well, you need social media to grow any business. But you can't really just make content if you can't handle the negative feedback,
Of
right?
course, man. There's going to get negative feedback every day.
It's 100%. And you're doing something right.
Look, you saw me, right? Like I did this collaboration earlier in the year, right after I met you. I did a song called Habibi.
Yeah.
I have been obsessed with the Arabic culture for years. The sound musically, it reminds me a lot of Latino music, right? Makes you want to dance. It's very cultural. So I did this record with this guy, El Pana Arabe, one of the biggest influencers ever, 30-something million followers. And we went out to a desert and shot a video. That video got so many comments, love and hate. But you know what? I was just creating art. I'm an entertainer. I was just creating a visual world where you can imagine this song. And it's like, I'll do that again with anything I want because I'm just creating art. Art is untangible a lot of times, right? So if you let the hate stop you, you will not create more art. And you don't know then what you might create that the world will love.
I like that.
That's a bar.
I like that. Yeah. Processing that. Gianni, I mean, just to wind it down then, I do want to say, seeing everything, and we were talking about marriage earlier.
We talked about what?
Marriage, right? Because you were just like, you want to get married one day. Can you actually trust a woman now?
I mean, I can definitely say I've found very good women in my life. I can definitely say that. I think when you know a good woman, when you're raised by a good woman, when you deal with the society nowadays, you can find a good woman. They're less and less, unfortunately, but you would be able to find one.
And one last thing here. Clubbing used to be a good networking place, right? And which it still is. Do you still think that's kind of true?
Absolutely. I think the club is the most valuable place to network in the world.
Where would you recommend to go if someone wanted to go network in Miami?
And I'll tell you this, all my fellow DJs, use your access to your advantage. You can get in places, in rooms, in tables that most people cannot get. And use it to your advantage, Give you an example. One of my great Miami friends now is Fresh, from Fresh and Fit.
Yeah.
Been riding around with him for months, hanging, just building a real genuine connection. Had me on his podcast last night, then Clavicular came right after. Then we connected. These are just doors and handshakes from just being around the right like-minded people and having good energy. Be normal. Don't put a facade on. I'm Gianni every day.
Yeah.
I don't have a button. I don't have a switch. I don't have to play a character. And when you're a real person like that, it's so easy to do everything else.
And you can feel that too, the genuine connection.
Absolutely.
I just like that because you're speaking about Clavicular and you're speaking about Walter. Being in the room with these mindsets, how do you feel, right? Because like not a lot of people leave their own hometown. right?
course.
It's to encourage
You
them.
have to get uncomfortable for success. And I always like to quote Kanye West, right? Kanye West was the most loved, most hated person out of Chicago. But at the end of the day, he's a GOAT, no matter what anybody says, right? If you watch his documentary on Netflix, the whole first 2 episodes about leaving Chicago because he was getting love, he was getting hate, people thought he was big-headed, whatever. He put himself in New York City, 2-3 years grinding, fighting for a record deal, fighting for an opportunity, gets the record deal, drops his first single Through the Wires, and then his career changes. And now he goes back to Chicago and he's like a god.
Yeah.
So you have to get uncomfortable for success. Do you think I wake up on a Thursday? Let me give you an example of a chaotic weekend as a DJ. Friday morning, I woke up in Chicago. I flew from Chicago to Vancouver, all the way across the country. I land in Vancouver, 4 or 5 p.m., go through customs, everything, get to the hotel, shower, go to the DJ set, boom. Finish the set at 3 a.m. Flights at 6 a.m. Sleep 90 minutes, go to the airport. I go from Vancouver across the country to New York City. Another 6-hour flight. First flight's 5, second hour 6. Land in New York late, shower, go to dinner, do the set. I sleep 2 hours that night also because I have a flight from New York City that Sunday morning to Miami.
Wow.
So I did the whole country 2-3 times in 72 hours, haven't slept, exhausted, worked my ass off, killed all 3 shows. Are you willing to do these journeys and put your body through this for your dream? Remove the money equation. Are you willing to do all this motion for your dream?
I like that. Who do you admire the most here in Miami then? That open your eyes, business, everything mindset.
I mean, just, I'm an entrepreneur at my heart, right? Like my business is, I'm running a record label. I'm doing events. I'm into publishing. I'm into sync. I'm into selling records. I'm into signing songs. So as a musician, I would say my biggest influence, and I'm inspired by Hugel, it's like how he has generated his party, his brand, owning the masters, doing all these things. Like I want to dip and dabble in everything, fashion, everything. You know what I mean?
What are your thoughts on Benny Blanco? Because I don't know, you just mentioned to the mindset.
I think Benny Blanco's awesome. I think he has again, you look at an individual where like if you saw him one time, you would remember him forever.
Yeah.
That to me, going back to looks maxing, is the most important thing, right?
Yeah.
I'm not gonna be hammering my jaw
you're right,
cutting my leg to get 2-3 inches. Like, be comfortable in your own skin. I always tell people like, I'm comfortable in my own skin. I have game. I know what I can do myself as a person. I don't need injections and all these type of things, right? Be comfortable in your own skin. Uniqueness to me is the biggest seller for who you are as an individual, business and personally.
Yeah.
If you're a unique person, if you're memorable, if you're personable, if you have charisma, if you have talent, that's all that matters.
I like that. I brought up Benny Blanco because I don't know. I feel like
he's a super producer, by the way.
Super producer. That's the
write songs in all genres.
I saw an interview where it's just like he's been doing this for 10, 15 years. And I don't know. It just
way
sparked
more,
my mind.
20 years.
And it just sparked my mind.
Super producer.
And it's just smart. No, yeah. But Gianni, I wanted to ask you, is there anything I didn't touch topics on that you would want to address before we wind it down?
I would say, one thing I would say is that the AI thing in the music business is scary. But if you don't adapt quick, you're going to be left behind.
Oh, yeah.
Use all the tools for your advantage. Use everything with the skill set you already have to just create better product, better music, and push your career tenfold forward.
Gianni, as always, at the end of the podcast, there's always 2 things I always ask. 1, who would you want to see in your seat that you would want me to pick their brain and hear their story?
Well, I would love for you to have, Gary Brecka on this seat. Pick his brain about health, pick his brain about how to sleep, longevity, being healthier, especially someone in my life. My life is hectic. I'm trying to work on my health. And I would love for you to just go into all these things with him and just learn from it.
And educate. Gary Brecka, you heard that, man. Come on, let's lock in.
You better get on here in your 20s.
Let's go. And then last, since I've asked you these questions and you've been an open book, phenomenal. If you have any questions for me, you let me know. And if not.
So let's ask you something, right? We have a few more minutes here. You as a content creator, you have grown so much. What is your content strategy for 2026?
Well, since we're already 6 months in, my content strategy was more on the business side, right? Because I already had the clipping down, right? I'm a routine guy. I'm disciplined. I don't have outside noise. But now I want to double down on business. I'm growing a brand, right? Just like how you mentioned earlier, where it's just like you play for free, you do this stuff, you show your face, but now it's like it's legit. People recognize you, people know you, people reach out. So me, it's like, how do I grow this as a brand? How do I expand? That's my 2026. And that's what I've been doing since the last time we met, right? The last time we interacted. Now 5 months in, with the hard work and the faith of God, things are going good and it could get better. But that's what I'm focused on. Growing the brand and learning the business.
But let's dive a little deeper with that.
Yes.
Okay, let's go into this. What platform do you think has the biggest ability of growth right now?
This one is very controversial because there's gonna be people with different opinions. It's not TikTok. I don't think it's TikTok just because they're being too, what's the word? They're censoring a lot of stuff where you can't even curse or you can't even rewrite something and it'll take it down. I've gotten so many violations for simple stuff. I reposted things and have got violations. I think Instagram right now.
You think Instagram is the focus right now?
I think Instagram is the focus because now you can sell stuff on products. They put a feature where you can put any product or you can sell. So I've experimented with it. On a random video, I put a random product and maybe I'll make like $100. It's not a lot, but it's $100 for a random thing. I'm not even promoting it. I just put the link and the video does well. Out of those 100,000 people, someone's gonna click on it and be like, okay, I need this. I think IG because I put every single type of content and they don't take it down.
Is there any social media platform that's upcoming that you think is gonna be massive? Or are we already at the maximum social media platforms right now?
No, there's going to be way more, but streaming something, TikTok live. TikTok, when it comes to TikTok, it's going to be TikTok selling, right? Maybe
that's been the biggest thing that I've seen.
That's the biggest thing.
TikTok live, I see people making thousands upon thousands of dollars in a clip.
But that's interesting because actually we were talking about it. Me and Gene and Danny Kicks that I had this interview. He does that. He does a warehouse. He has 3 warehouses and gets content creators. And then he sells these products at the warehouses. He's only 23 for Whatnot and TikTok Live. So I think those are the biggest platforms to get money. But as in terms of clipping, it'll just be IG, TikTok, Facebook, right?
You don't think YouTube also?
YouTube's always going to be a monster.
YouTube is
but
always
it's a
gonna be
monster. But it's a monster to conquer. That's consistent. You can't miss over there. YouTube, you have to be so consistent. But it's doable.
But yeah, man, I appreciate you so much for having me.
Dude, Gianni, likewise.
In your 20s.
Let's go.
We'll check in at the end of the year, top of the year, hopefully with some bigger announcement, bigger dreams, bigger goals accomplished, my brother. Keep on growing, keep on building.
Thank you, brother.
Chicago to the world.
Chicago till I die, no matter where we are. Who do you think is going to win the World Cup? Call it now.
Call it now.
Yeah.
Call it now.
Who do you think is going to win the World Cup?
Who's going to win the World Cup? This is the last World Cup for a lot of people.
Oh my God.
Portugal or Argentina.
Yeah.
I think this is the last mecca of the 2 biggest soccer players in the existence, right?
Yeah.
Right?
This is the last
It's their last World Cup. They're both at the end.
Messi and Ronaldo.
I think Portugal or Argentina is going to be historic.
Oh my God. I'm a Messi fan by heart, but if Portugal even
I'm a more Messi fan.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah.
So maybe we just say Argentina.
All right.